What if I told you that the biggest enemy in your life is not your circumstances, not your failures, not the people who doubt you, but the weakness you allow to live inside your mind? Think about it. Every great dream dies because someone gives up too early. Every great opportunity is missed because someone is afraid to take action. Every powerful future is destroyed because a person chooses comfort over courage. Today I want you to make a decision that can completely transform your life. Stop being weak. Stop letting fear control your choices. Stop letting excuses control your future. Stop letting temporary failures convince you that you are not capable. God did not create you to live a life of fear, doubt, and helplessness. God created you with strength, wisdom, courage, and unlimited potential. The problem is that many people spend their entire lives looking for power outside themselves, while ignoring the power God has already placed within them. Mental strength is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is developed every time you choose discipline over excuses, courage over fear, and faith over doubt. Today, I want to share 7 powerful principles that can help you become mentally stronger and take control of your life. One of the most powerful decisions a person can make is to stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility for life. This sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest transformations a human being can experience. Many people spend years waiting for someone else to change their situation. They blame their family, their past, their education, their financial condition, their bad luck, or the people around them. While some of these challenges may be real, blaming them continuously only keeps a person trapped. The moment you take responsibility, you stop being a victim of life and become the creator of your future. Think about a student who wants excellent grades. If he fails an exam, he has 2 choices. He can blame the teacher, blame the difficult questions, or blame his circumstances. Or he can honestly ask himself, did I prepare enough? Did I use my time wisely? What can I improve next time? The first approach creates excuses. The second approach creates growth. The student who takes responsibility may not see immediate success, but he will continue improving because he is focused on solutions rather than excuses. The same principle applies to every area of life. Imagine a person who wants to improve his health. Every morning he promises himself that he will start exercising, but when the alarm rings, he presses the snooze button and goes back to sleep. Weeks pass, then months pass, and nothing changes. One day he realizes something important. The problem is not the lack of time. The problem is not the weather. The problem is not the gym. The problem is the choices he is making every day. The moment he accepts responsibility, everything changes. He starts waking up earlier, taking small walks, eating better food, and gradually becoming healthier. His transformation begins not with a perfect plan, but with personal responsibility. Many people believe responsibility is a burden. In reality, it is freedom. When you blame others, you give them control over your happiness and success. When you take responsibility, you take that power back. You no longer wait for someone else to rescue you. You become proactive. You begin asking powerful questions such as, what can I do today? How can I improve? What lesson can I learn from this situation? These questions shift your focus from problems to possibilities. Look at successful people in any field. They are not successful because life was always easy for them. They are successful because they learned to take ownership of their actions. When something goes wrong, they do not waste time complaining. They focus on finding solutions. They understand that every challenge contains an opportunity to learn and grow. Imagine a worker who constantly complains about his job. Every day he talks about how unfair his boss is, how difficult the work is, and how unlucky he feels. Years pass, and his life remains the same. Now imagine another worker facing the same challenges. Instead of complaining, he develops new skills, improves his attitude, learns from mistakes, and looks for opportunities to grow. Both people started in similar situations, but their mindset created completely different futures. Responsibility became the bridge between where they were and where they wanted to be. God has given every person the ability to choose their response to life's circumstances. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. This is where true strength is born. A mentally strong person understands that setbacks are not excuses to quit. They are opportunities to become wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Think about daily situations. Maybe someone speaks negatively about you. You can spend days feeling angry and hurt, or you can choose to focus on your goals and continue moving forward. Maybe you experience failure in business, studies, or relationships. You can allow that failure to define you, or you can learn from it and grow. Responsibility means understanding that your response matters more than the event itself. The truth is that excuses are comfortable, but they never produce results. Growth begins when comfort ends. Every time you accept responsibility, you strengthen your character. Every time you stop blaming and start acting, you become more confident. Every time you focus on solutions instead of problems, you move closer to your goals. There will always be obstacles in life. There will always be people who doubt you, situations that test you, and moments that challenge your patience. But the strongest people are not those who have perfect lives. They are those who choose responsibility despite imperfect circumstances. They refuse to let external conditions determine their future. Today, make a promise to yourself. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone else to change your life. Stop giving excuses more power than your dreams. Take ownership of your choices, your habits, your attitude, and your future. The moment you do that, something remarkable happens. You begin to realize that the power you were searching for has been within you all along. Your future is not created by blame. Your future is created by responsibility. Every positive action you take today becomes a step toward a stronger tomorrow. Trust God, believe in your ability to grow, and remember that true strength begins the moment you say, I am responsible for my life, and I have the power to make it better. Your mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It has the ability to build your confidence or destroy it, push you forward or hold you back, fill you with courage or trap you in fear. Every achievement begins with a thought, and every failure often begins with a thought as well. This is why controlling your thoughts is one of the most important skills you can develop in life. If you want to become mentally strong, you must first learn to become the master of your mind, instead of allowing your mind to become the master of you. Many people live their entire lives reacting to every thought that enters their heads. When a negative thought appears, they immediately believe it. When fear whispers that they are not good enough, they accept it as truth. When doubt tells them they cannot succeed, they stop trying. The problem is not that negative thoughts exist. Every human being experiences them. The problem begins when we allow those thoughts to control our actions and shape our future. Imagine a young student preparing for an important examination. A week before the exam, he begins thinking, what if I fail? What if I forget everything? What if I am not smart enough? These thoughts create anxiety and fear. Because of that fear, he struggles to focus on studying. His confidence drops and his performance suffers. Now imagine another student facing the same examination. He also feels nervous, but instead of feeding negative thoughts, he tells himself, I will prepare as much as possible. I will give my best effort. I am capable of learning and improving. The situation is the same, but the thinking is different. One mindset creates fear, while the other creates confidence. This principle applies to every area of life. A person who wants to start a business may think, what if I lose money? What if people laugh at me? What if I fail? If those thoughts dominate his mind, he may never take action. Another person may think, every successful person faced uncertainty. I may face challenges, but I will learn and keep moving forward. One thought pattern creates paralysis. The other creates progress. The mind works like a garden. If you neglect a garden, weeds will naturally grow. In the same way, if you do not actively manage your thoughts, negativity can easily take over. Fear, doubt, worry, jealousy, and anger can slowly occupy your mental space. But just as a gardener removes weeds and plants healthy seeds, you must remove destructive thoughts and replace them with empowering ones. Many people begin their day by immediately focusing on problems. They wake up thinking about stress, bills, difficulties, and disappointments. As a result, they carry negative energy throughout the day. Mentally strong people develop the habit of directing their minds toward gratitude, purpose, and possibility. They understand that what they focus on grows. If you focus on problems all day, problems will seem larger. If you focus on solutions, opportunities become easier to see. Think about a person stuck in traffic while going to work. One person becomes angry, frustrated, and irritated. He complains constantly and ruins his mood before the day even begins. Another person accepts the situation calmly. He listens to something educational, reflects on his goals, or simply remains patient. The traffic is the same for both people, but their thoughts create completely different experiences. Controlling your thoughts does not mean pretending that problems do not exist. It means refusing to allow problems to control your emotions and decisions. Life will always present challenges. There will be disappointments, failures, and unexpected setbacks. But your strength is determined not by what happens to you, but by how you think about what happens to you. Consider an athlete who loses an important competition. One athlete thinks, I am a failure. I will never succeed. Another athlete thinks, this defeat taught me what I need to improve. The first mindset creates discouragement. The second mindset creates growth. Failure itself is not the problem. The interpretation of failure makes the difference. God has given every person the ability to choose their thoughts. While we cannot always control events, we can choose our perspective. This choice is one of the greatest gifts we possess. Every day you have the opportunity to decide whether you will focus on fear or faith, obstacles or opportunities, weakness or strength. There will be moments when negative thoughts appear unexpectedly. That is normal. The goal is not to eliminate every negative thought. The goal is to refuse to give those thoughts power over your life. When your mind says, I can't do this, challenge that thought. When fear says you will fail, remind yourself of past victories and lessons learned. When doubt says you are not capable, remember that growth comes through effort and persistence. The quality of your life is greatly influenced by the quality of your thoughts. Positive thinking alone is not enough, but positive thinking combined with action can transform your future. Every great achievement begins when someone chooses belief over doubt and action over fear. As you move through life, pay attention to the conversations happening inside your mind. Become aware of the words you repeatedly tell yourself. Speak to yourself with encouragement, confidence, and hope. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. Fill your mind with thoughts that strengthen rather than weaken you. Remember, your mind is like a powerful vehicle. If you do not take control of the steering wheel, it can drift in the wrong direction. But when you consciously guide your thoughts, you guide your life. Strong thoughts lead to strong actions. Strong actions create strong habits. Strong habits build a strong character. Trust God, focus on what is possible, and train your mind every day. The battle for success, happiness, and fulfillment is often won or lost within the mind. When you learn to control your thoughts, you unlock a level of strength that no obstacle can easily defeat. Your greatest victory begins the moment you decide that your mind will serve your goals instead of your fears. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that an easy life will make them stronger. In reality, strength is not built in comfort, it is built in challenge. Growth does not happen when everything goes according to plan. Growth happens when life becomes difficult and you choose to keep moving forward anyway. If you want to become mentally strong, you must learn to embrace difficulty instead of running away from it. Most people naturally avoid discomfort. They want quick results, easy solutions, and a path with no obstacles. The moment a challenge appears, they begin looking for an exit. But every time you run away from difficulty, you also run away from the opportunity to become stronger. Challenges are not barriers sent to stop you. They are lessons sent to prepare you for something greater. Think about a young person learning how to ride a bicycle. The first few attempts are usually difficult. There may be fear, imbalance, and even a few falls. If the child decides to quit after falling once or twice, they will never learn. However, if they get up, try again, and keep practicing, something amazing happens. The same challenge that once seemed impossible becomes easy. Life works in the same way. Every difficulty you face contains a lesson, and every lesson